So today is Friday, May, I think 21st, 2021. And we have an overcast day. You can see it's just actually beautiful here this morning. We've got Austin and Lori here with me this morning, and we actually have a project. You guys excited? That means no. So if you guys know, we've got the Western Orchard here behind me, and these were the first trees we put in the ground. See the peach trees here. And these rings that we have down here are very, very small for these larger trees. We need to actually get them expanded. When we first put these trees in, we were kind of in a rush because they went in really late. We had, I think, the beginning of April, it was either end of March or beginning of April, we put these trees in. The scramble was to get them in the ground and then come back and expand these rings, and that's unfortunately where we're at today. So you can see this peach tree here has grown really well over the last year, and it's got its canopy out probably about 4 feet wide or so. And as we look down on the ground here, you'll see that this ring is also about 4 feet wide. So we talk a lot about the fact that you need to make sure you're watering away from the tree. For this first year, this was just fine, But if we want this tree to continue to grow out and of course grow up, we need to make sure that we have the rings wide enough and we're watering far enough away from the tree that it's actually going to allow that tree to continue to grow. Of course, what we need to do is we need to come back and do just that, expand these rings. So go ahead and take a look at what we did here a couple weeks ago and what we need to get accomplished today. This will give you a good idea of just how much bigger these rings are looking down this row. This is what Lori and I worked on along with Austin, I think it was 2 to 3 weeks ago. We got this one row completed, expanded, and you can see the trees definitely have plenty more space to grow out into as we're watering further away from the trees. We're gonna take the tiller, move the wood chips up against the tree, till around the outside to get that outside larger ring in place, and then of course back behind it with wood chips and all that kind of stuff. So we've got a lot to get done. We're gonna go ahead and get to work. Today's weather, man, it's just beautiful out here. So you can see here we have one of the trees that we planted in the fall. We only did the small inner ring, so we're gonna have to come back around and do the outer ring. In addition, we have one more spot right here that we actually never planted anything. We know what's gonna go there. We're just waiting for Reed to grow that particular tree out for us. It's gonna be a specific type of apricot. So we need that to be done, but in advance, we wanna go ahead and dig the hole so we have all of that completed. And then you'll get an idea of what we still need to get done. The nice thing is, it's a beautiful morning. The only thing is we smell rain, which is not a bad thing overall, but it is when you're trying to get a project done. So we're gonna go ahead and get this hole dug. So May, of course, would be fertilizing month. We're gonna go ahead, because we have the wood chips pulled back around the rings that we've enlarged. We're gonna go ahead and fertilize that entire orchard on that side. So what we're gonna be using today is going to be the composted pig manure. That's what we have here. Obviously we had the pigs here. We just mixed basically pig manure and wood chips and nothing else. This is gonna be our fertilizer of choice for all of those trees that are now at least a year old. And of course, we're building soil around the outside and those outer rings. So we want to make sure we're using this natural fertilizer. Now, May is fertilizing month. We're gonna do a separate video for you guys specifically on fertilizing, but I figured you guys are gonna watch me put this onto the trees and I'd answer that question ahead of time. So we're gonna go ahead and get this loaded up and get this put onto those trees. Oh, honey, look at those worms. Grab the camera. I'm so excited. It didn't take long. I had to take a break. You guys, look at this. That looks like a night crawler to me. Maybe it's just a gigantic red wiggler. I don't know. I'm not a worm expert, but check that out, you guys. I mean, can you ask for anything better that you're about to put on your trees and give them a nice, comfy home than worms like this? So you know, this is just loaded with these. So, oh, super excited to get these on those trees. Okay, it is early Saturday morning and it was just really windy yesterday, so I didn't get a chance to wrap this up for you guys, but that's a shot of how that looks. What we're doing right now is we're getting the watering done, and that's one of the things that, you know, we're focused on. Is right now this farm takes a lot of water because we don't have a whole lot of things in the ground that are helping us to hold that soil moisture in. So it's requiring a lot of watering. You guys saw that in the intro to today. So obviously wood chips is a big part of that. Obviously holding the water onto the ground requires less of it. It also keeps it at the root zone, which is what we want. That helps those plants. So wood chips is huge, which is why we have that gigantic pile back there. That is one of our focuses. The other one is making sure that we have plants growing, because those roots in the ground also help to hold soil moisture and keep it in the ground, which is the focus right now for us, is to get as much of that going as we can. In addition, yesterday you saw the worm activity in that compost pile. That was the pig manure, and the wood chips was incredible. So as we're doing chores this morning, it's Saturday, once a week I turn that huge pile that we have, the last pile we had from the pigs, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to transplant some of those worms to make sure that final pile, which is going to bring us into fall, has plenty of worms in it as well. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely have at least a few dozen worms that are now in this big pile. That's gonna bring us into the fall and hopefully into the spring of next year as far as our fruit tree fertilizing. Okay, I need to get these guys covered. Finish getting this turned. Especially this backside. Okay. That'll actually stay that way for the entire summer. The wood chips will help to keep the moisture in and make a happy home for the worms. In addition, any rain that we get, hopefully we'll get a good monsoon season and plenty of rains. We'll have some natural water that'll go on there and help to increase some of the mushroom activity. So those wood chips already have mycelium. I could see that on the actual wood chips themselves. Then we will have mushrooms going in there to break down those wood chips at the same time. So that just will be wonderful, wonderful compost to fertilize fruit trees here in the fall and hopefully into next spring. We're here on the pasture this morning, You can see it's still actually staying nice and green. That's mainly the alfalfa. What I want to show you is this little guy right here. So this is, you probably saw it in the intro yesterday. That is our new water. And actually, Roy, I gotta shout out to you. Thank you for making that suggestion. So this is a traveling sprinkler. I had never heard of it before. Basically, it just follows along the hose, and you lay the hose out in the pattern you want it to go, and that's what we've been doing. And actually, it's been working fantastic. And what's nice, it puts a nice heavy amount of water on the ground. Because of how it sprays lower to the ground, so it's not spraying up into the air. So we're not getting quite as much evaporation. Most of it's still landing here on the pasture. And what's nice is we can kind of set it and forget it. In addition, one of the things that we were challenged with is when we have the tractors out on the pasture, we can't have traditional sprinklers like a traditional sprinkler system, because it would come up, those little pop-ups would come up right in the middle of the tractor, which is obviously a big problem for broiler chickens. So this, we can actually just shape the hose so that it doesn't water around or under or near the tractor. So hopefully we'll see how it does this summer, but we're looking forward to that as maybe a good option for us as far as watering the pasture. Check on Lori over here. She is over here watering the newly establishing area for feeding chickens. And you guys need to check out how this is doing. What you got?
I'm watering the sunflowers and the cowpeas.
Sunflowers and cowpeas. You guys got to see how these are doing. Did a couple things a little bit different on this. Now it is getting afternoon shade for the most part, late afternoon, but it is getting some. But the sunflowers are doing incredible, and the cowpeas are doing really good as well. So we have another area behind the old pigs where we had the pigs last, and we need to put a few cover crops in there. So you can imagine, got a couple ideas here. In addition, the wood chips on the ground I think is making a big difference, because obviously that's holding the moisture in really well for us. We got the fence line done, which is pretty exciting for this livestock acre. It's funny because we do all this work on basically the first probably 2.5 acres or so of the property, and then this 1 acre parcel right here basically gets completely forgotten by us. It's kind of funny. So to actually be back here working on it, that's pretty cool. So I think we've got just a little bit of time left with Austin before he heads back into town and off the farm here. So I think we're gonna go ahead and get inside. You know, I'll tell you, one of the things that sometimes I don't tell you guys is how much we really appreciate you guys spending time with us. You know, the most valuable thing that we have here on Earth is time, and you guys spend that with us here, a lot of you I know, every week, and we really do appreciate it. So just want to thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions or comments, you guys know, leave those in the comment section down below. And hey, subscribe to the channel if it's just first time watching. We cover a lot of things here on the channel. This is just a little sampling of the things that we do. And share the content. If you know anybody that you think might enjoy this, please do that as well. So just want to thank you for joining us today and remind you, if we can farm on the edge of nowhere, so can you. You're not supposed to look at the camera.
I didn't know what you were doing.
I can see them. They're going wild.
That's good. Worms gone wild.
No.
But it's literally what we want.
Yeah.
We want worms gone wild. And we're getting it on video. Maybe I could sell the DVDs. Worms Gone Wild Arizona edition.